Well, it's a beautiful morning in Myrtle Grove, and today's the day that I'm gonna put my seafood gumbo together. Been having a lot of requests, folks want to know exactly how I do it. Well, I got everything pretty well prepared, but now I'm put it together. Say, I don't know, I never did put any egret in my gumbo. Why do you sure you want to stay around here? We run short of meat. I just might have to do something with you. No, I don't think the family would let me do that. But hey, we're gonna go inside to my favorite kitchen and get ready to cook that gumbo. Come back in a minute. Okay, welcome to Myrtle Grove Bob's Kitchen. We're gonna make some delicious gumbo. Okay, let's get started. Got everything kind of lined up over here. You can see the stuff that we kind of prepared. First and most importantly, you start off with your stock. What I did, I collected crab shells and shrimp shells from my good neighbor next door, Mr. Dale Adams, who had a shrimp ball and a crab ball. Well, don't throw those crab shells away or even the shrimp shells away. I put them in a big pot outside, covered it with water and boiled it and boiled it and boiled it, and then strained it and strained it and strained it, and came up with about 2.5 gallons of this thick, rich stock. If you could smell it, it smells like crab gumbo already, okay? Chop my seasoning. That's probably about 6 or 7 yellow onions, shallots. Come up with about, almost, I guess you'd say almost about a gallon of the Trinity seasoning mix. I got about 8 or 9 cloves of garlic, finely chopped, and I keep that separately from my seasoning mix because I add it as I go along. Here's my beautiful thick roux that was made in a microwave oven. People don't believe it, but you can make a beautiful roux at 1/3 of the time in a microwave oven. We start off with our diced tomatoes. I used 3 cans. We're going to make about 4 gallons of gumbo. I used 3 cans of Hunt's, or any brand, diced tomatoes. But then I open the can, squeeze the liquid into the stock pot, but I take the tomatoes 1 can at a time, and I chop them up to make them very, very, very fine. Okay, so what we're going to do, our first step is to take the, we got our stock, we're going to put our tomatoes, diced tomatoes in there to get them started. And then I'm going to put about 1/2 cup of oil in another skillet, and we're going to start sauteing our seasoning. So let's get started with that. I got this chopped up. I need to do the other cans, and we'll get started. Okay, going into our next step here, we're going to do our initial seasoning. We're going to put in a little thyme. I use Spice World whenever it's available. Oh, about 10 sprinkles. We're going to use a lot more later, but let's just get it started. I like to kind of stage my seasoning. Oh, we'll put some beautiful bay leaf in there. Boy, this stuff has just a real good smell to it. Throw that in there. Just a little bit of black pepper to start off with. A little bit of salt. Few sprinkles. Oh, our first big pinch of garlic. Throw that in there. We're gonna add it, taste it, add it, taste it, add it. Be careful with the salt. Don't put a lot of salt in initially. For some reason, it seems like as it cooks, maybe you're gonna use up some of the liquid, and when you think it needs salt early on, later you're gonna realize that it doesn't. Okay, here we have our beautiful seasoning mix. Wow. We're gonna saute that until it just gets to be transparent. That might take about 20 minutes of stirring. You sure don't want to burn any of it. And when it gets just the way we want it, which is a transparent color, then we're going to mix our roux in with it. You're going to see the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful roux seasoning mixture come to life. And you notice we did this in a separate bowl, separate skillet. So let's stir this for 20 minutes or so. In the meantime, I have my stock with the initial seasoning starting to heat up pretty good. You can let it almost come to a boil at this stage of the game, but then be sure to back it off. You don't want to have a boiling gumbo. I'm going to stir this pot a little bit right now, make sure nothing's sticking to the bottom, but starting to smell like gumbo already. Whoa. You notice I chopped those tomatoes up pretty fine. You still see a little red in there, but my beautiful seasoning is starting to sizzle a little bit at the bottom. That's what I want to see. So we're going to be stirring this and cooking this, and then we'll be right back. Okay, that seasoning has been sauteing for about, well, I kind of saute it, but I also put a cover on sometime to maybe speed it up. I guess it's been about 20 minutes, so it's time now to combine the roux. Pour that on top. And then we're going to fold it in. Wow, look at that. Fold it in. Just keep stirring so you don't burn the roux. I'm going to turn that fire back on a little bit and let this all melt together. You can combine it like that until it becomes a nice pasty roux combination. Once you put that flour back in, be sure to keep stirring, because you sure don't want it to scorch. I'm going to do this for about 3 or 4 minutes or so that it will thicken somewhat. And then we're going to dump this in the big pot. So I'll keep you posted. Okay, after an additional 4 or 5 minutes of stirring the flour and oil roux along with the seasoning, I think we got it now just about how we want it. Just a rich, thick paste. And it's time now to put that in a gumbo pot. I'm going to have it on a medium fire. I don't want it to be boiling. And I'm going to go outside to see if I got any crabs in the trap, so we can clean them up and throw that in the gumbo pot when the time comes. Let's go see if we have any crabs. Well, I picked up the crab trap, and unfortunately there wasn't a heck of a lot in it. Hey, did have two Pretty nice freshwater catfish, but we're not cooking catfish today. We're cooking gumbo. But there we are. We got about 8 small crabs. Not enough. I could probably use about twice this many. I will check with one of my neighbors. I'm sure they have some in their crab trap that they'd be willing to lend me. So hey, let's go back inside the kitchen and see what that gumbo's starting to look like. Okay, let's. Hey, I'm cooking my gumbo. I turned the TV on, and guess who is on there?
What I mean by clean, that cuts real clean, and just keep turning it. And when you get to
tell
the
by
bottom,
that voice.
you kind of push down, and you twist, and push down and twist, and it just comes right out. And then you can clean up the sides. I like to use a spoon to get what's
He's
there.
the guy that made Louisiana cooking
And there's not a whole lot left, and I'll show you.
famous.
There's not a whole lot left, but
Great
it's
guy.
ready to go
Has
now.
done well.
All we gotta do, and you can trim the top. You know, if it's not quite even.
Son Brandon did an internship at his restaurant in the French Quarter.
And so that's the way you do the peppers. And we got the little casserole.
Thank you. Okay, everything that's previously been put in the big stock pot has been on now for I'd say 2.5, maybe 3 hours. Up until this point, I don't think you can overcook it. Once you start putting the okra in and the shrimp in and everything, well then, you know, if you cook it too long, the shrimp are gonna get hard. The okra is gonna dissipate, but make sure you cook it about 2.5 to 3 hours up to this point. You can pretty well tell. I've already added some of the okra just a minute ago, but you can see how that it got thicker and richer, and the seasoning is all become part of the gumbo. Okay, it's you might look for the bay leaf. Okay, the bay leaf is starting to turn colors. It was a bright green before. You want to make sure that that bay leaf cooks through so that all of its flavors will be in the gumbo and not still on the leaf. So I've already put the recipe. I use about I say 3 32-ounce bags of cut okra. They didn't have any 32-ounce bags, but they had an 80-ounce bag and a 16-ounce bag. So that's 96 ounces of okra. I put about half of this big bag in. It was still frozen. Put it in there, so I kicked my fire up a little bit, so I didn't want to just get it cool. So I put that in, and I'm gonna wait about 20 minutes and put another third of it in, and then maybe another 20 minutes after that and put the rest of it in. It all depends on how you want your gumbo to look and how you want it to taste. Some people want to see big whole pieces of okra still in your gumbo, and if you want to do that, well then save most of it until right towards the end. Save most of it until right before you're putting your shrimp and crabs in, okay? But if you want it to kind of dissolve in the mix, well then start putting it in before that. But I kind of compromise it. My cousin Terry makes an excellent gumbo, and he likes to see the big whole green pieces, so he puts his okra in right towards the end. I kind of compromise and put some of it in now, wait 20 minutes or so, and put some more in. But you better step your fire up a little bit when you put that frozen okra in there, because you don't want to cool the pot completely off. So let's do it like that. You might have noticed that throughout the time that this was cooking, I've been taking the cover off and throwing a little garlic in now, throwing a little garlic in later, a little thyme now. I don't fool with the salt until the end. Okay, I'll put some salt in prior to this early on, but I like to wait to the end to do my final salt tasting. There was another ingredient that I just threw in right before the okra, and that's about 3 ounces of liquid concentrated, maybe 2 or 3 ounces of Zatarain's shrimp and crab ball. That's some good stuff, and it gives it a flavor. So let's put the cover back on. We're going to wait 20 minutes, and I'll put the other third of the okra in, wait about 20 minutes, and put some more okra in. Then shortly after that, we'll be ready for the shrimp. Be back. Okay, got all the okra in. Now, you know, I staged it. I guess this whole, everything has been cooking in this pot now for almost 4 hours. So, you remember I caught those crabs. I got them down in the pot right now, turning the fire on. We're going to boil them before I clean them, okay? All that is just getting the water almost to a boil. As soon as the crabs turn a little reddish, I'm going to shut it off because they're going to continue cooking in the gumbo pot. And I'm going to clean them. I'll show you how they look when they clean. Take the big hard shell off, take the, what they call a dead man off of the side, and just throw the body with the meat and the claws into the gumbo. And we're going to let that cook a little bit before we put the shrimp in. So we'll be back soon. Here you see I've just finished parboiling my crabs, and I got them. I just cleaned one right here. This is what a gumbo ready crab looks like. You can buy them in the supermarket fresh, not parboiled, and if you do that, throw them in the gumbo much earlier than I am. Put them in before you actually start putting your okra in. But as I mentioned before, I'm not relying on these crabs here to add any flavor to the pot. I've already got that crab flavor by using the crab shells and making a stock from crab shells that I got from a neighbor's crab boil. Be sure to do that. You can take crab shells, just pick them up off the table, put them in a container, put them in your freezer, and wait till you're ready to make a gumbo to do that. But if you buy a dozen or so crabs and you're going to start making your gumbo, you can put those in right off the bat. I mean, right after you put the tomatoes in and everything, put the Gumbo Cleaned crabs in. But hey, this big part of the shell right here, that's where you can really make some good stock. So don't pass that opportunity up. Here we are. I mean, we're getting close now. Getting close. We have all of our okra is in there. You see we still got some big whole pieces of okra. I'd rather it cook down a little bit more. And but right now I'm going to put the my gumbo crabs in, and we're getting ready. I got my shrimp over here all peeled. This is 10 pounds of peeled shrimp. I kind of went overboard. I'll be honest with you. I didn't peel and devein all of these myself. I bought them already clean. But maybe I went overboard a little bit with the shrimp. You could probably get by with less shrimp. But I like to make sure that my gumbo is very, very rich with the meat. Wow, I just threw the shrimp in the pot. Ooh. My, you know, I said 4 gallons. Well, when I put those 10 pounds of shrimp, that's peeled shrimp, okay? They were 10 pounds peeled. It really raised the level up about an inch or about another gallon, and it looked like I'm gonna wound up with a little more than 4 gallons, but boy, it's smelling good and tasting good. As you can see, I had a little sample there, and it's coming along just like I want it. Still need to do some final taste and seasoning. As you can see, I finally used up all of that garlic, and I added additional thyme. Hadn't put any more salt in it. It seems like it's salty enough. I'm gonna add a little more black pepper, maybe just a little bit of cayenne pepper or so, just to give it a little tang. But you know, I think it's going to be just right. One thing about gumbo, there are so many different ways of doing it. Okay, you can, if somebody says, hey, you got to do this and you got to do that, don't listen to them. I got friends that cook it in entirely different ways, and you know, it comes out just as good as mine. And there's, it's just like boiling crawfish. You know, everybody's got their own way of doing it, but hey, if they say you got to do it this way and you got to do it that way, that's not a fact. Okay, so we're gonna stay here a little bit longer. And you know, some other advice I have is, don't try to do this all in one day. It looks like we've been here about 4 hours right now, and but my stock was already made. I made the stock a week ago and put it in the freezer. Yesterday I chopped up all of my seasoning and put it in the refrigerator. I also made my microwave roux yesterday. So today all I had to do was put it together, but it's still about a 4-hour process putting it together. So I think we got it just about where we wanted it. Okay, I've added a little more garlic powder, and I put a little bit more of that Zata Ranch seasoning in it and tasted it. As you can see, all the shrimp are on the bottom, but the shrimp have turned a pink color. That lets you know that they are done. The okra's cooked a little bit more. That's kind of the way I like it. They'll continue to cook after I turn off the fire, which I just did. I'm gonna leave the cover off of the pot because it's not quite as thick as I'd like it to be. So when it cools, you see that steam coming off of there. It should thicken up a little bit more, and that ought to make it just right. So we're gonna leave it here uncovered, let it cool down somewhat, and I'll be back to give you some more information on how to cool it down, and just to make sure that it's okay. Here's the last and one of the most important steps of the gumbo process. The gumbo's been off the fire now for about 2 hours. It's still pretty warm, but before you put it in a refrigerator, you really need to cool it down. So what I do, I have a tub. I put the pot in there with the gumbo and chilled it down with some ice. If you take a hot pot of gumbo and put it in just a regular household refrigerator, the temperature in that refrigerator is going to skyrocket up to probably the same temperature as the gumbo in a pot, and will probably take 10 hours to get back to a safe level. So chill it off like I'm doing right now, leave it in there for about an hour, and then I can take this pot out and put it safely into my refrigerator.
Bless us, O Lord, for these our gifts. God is safe in our body. That's right, our Lord. Amen. Okay.
Thank you for the sandwich.
Yeah.
Get him over.
Bless the cups.
Come on, boy.
Okay, go.
This is the gumbo we've been waiting for all night. This is going to be the top of the weekend at Paul B. Johnson.
And that's the man that can make it, okay? He can make
We're
it.
nothing better than Cousin Bob.
All right.
Look, take your plate and go out the back door. So we got a big line coming in. Wait.
Oh, yeah.
Who's next?
Yeah.
Oh, you already got it. You got your...
I am.
we serve it. We serve it. We serve it. We don't want to...
Get one.
Who's that? Huh?
Is this the big Boudet gumbo?
Yeah, everybody get in line.
Where does the line
Go get the gumbo. Right here.
Like any crab? You want a crab? A piece of crab?
Whatever you want. Salad.
Go to the gumbo first.
Oh, it's awesome.
Oh, gumbo first.
Thank you, first.
Hey! Come on, step right up. Step right. A lot of rice. A lot of rice. A lot of rice. Lady wants a lot of rice.
No, he's not in line. Okay, go to
All right, we got a long line behind us.
Cheap.
Oh,
Hurry up. We got a line behind.
Back door.
They can't go at the back.
Back door.
You gotta wrap around.
let them wait.
Let them wait. Let them wait.
Hey, it's not good if they're not waiting in line,
Who's
right?
next? Come on. Step right up, man.
Back door.
Step right up.
That's right. They're not doing this right.
Step right up.
The flow is not good. The flow is not going right.
Why are we getting gumbo?
We shouldn't be.
What? Why are we getting gumbo before?
There you go, man.
This table, then get the gumbo, then leave.
Yeah, there you go. Grab your own. There you go. Grab your own.
John, you look for Sophia?
Oh, what's the fee? Hey, watch Uncle Bobby and drop that on the head.
All right.
Hey, wait. Grab
Grab a little
Sophia that
rice,
hot
man.
gumbo.
Yeah.
There you go. That's good. That's good. That's
Hey,
good.
you eating gumbo.
Hey, Cameron, some of the best gumbo you ever gonna have.
There you go, man.
Thank you, my man.
Thank you, my man. Come on, get over here. Get over here. Get over there. Drop a little rice. There you go.
Come here.
Yes, I'm Cameron. Beautiful. Thank you, Uncle Bobby.
Oh, okay. That's my pleasure. My pleasure. My pleasure, man. You want a little crab in there?
Oh, yeah,
Get a
man.
good shot of that.
You got a guy? Get that crab in there. That's my nephew Chris from Orlando, okay? Soon to be Myrtle.
There you go, man. Thank you, Uncle Bob.
That's perfect. That's beautiful.
Oh, this is so much fun. This is so much fun. Woo! This is so much fun. Oh, this is so much fun. You want a little crab?
Yeah, bring it on.
You bring on the crab, little crab. Christopher Drew. Oh, that dog, he can't get 2 pieces. You don't want 2 pieces.
Oh, if it tastes half as good as it looks.
Whoa,
All right, Uncle
man.
Bobby, beautiful.
Okay, Christine. You want a little piece of crab?
Sure.
There you go. Oh, woo. All right, my darling man. Okay, my darling. It's my daughter-in-law, then. Huh? That's another.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
We might have to put some rice in there.
Oh, that's just
They're lined up out the door.
Oh, my goodness. Wow, look at that. That's perfect.
Oh, yeah? Okay, man. I love it. Woo! You think it's gonna be good?
Oh, it's going to be good.
It's gonna be good. All right, my man. help this boy out with some rice here, man. Give him a little rice. We're gonna have to slow it down.
All right, what we got here? All right, Joseph. You ready to get some gumbo? All right. You like gumbo, huh?
There you go, Joe.
Okay. All right, Joe. Two hands. Two hands, buddy. All right, don't
You
spill
think
it.
that's gonna be good, huh?
That's Uncle Bobby's gumbo.
Look at your daddy there. Look.
All right. All right, go on.
That's for me and John.
Does he have, you have a spoon?
One little crack.
No. Mommy got,
Not me.
Mommy got a spoon. Give him a spoon, Bessie. Thank you. There you go, Joseph. There's your spoon.
Watch your food when you walk.
Gotta be careful. I don't know.
All right, wait a minute.
Joseph, come here.
Man, oh man.
Watch out. Come on, let me go. I know, because I don't want to.
Should do it.
Sit there.
John.